Hello, I'm Robert Murphy from Holistic Healing Choices, and today we're going to meet the wood constitutional element. Now, the wood, the very tall, strong person who may or may not be flexible. These are the planners, the people who are highly motivated and the type that fights for the injustice of others. Now, being that they fight and stand up for so much injustice can lead them to becoming so very tense. So let's explore some of the wood element. The organs. Now, the gallbladder. The gallbladder is a yang organ of the wood element, and the liver being the yin. Now, these two work together to help detoxify the body and metabolize the fats and the proteins. The gallbladder releases bile from the liver, which helps digest fats. When the gallbladder isn't working properly, it can cause problems with digestion and the breakdown of fats and other materials and minerals and stuff like that. When we look at it metaphysically, we see issues that arise with the breakdown of digesting the heavy parts of life. Next, we have the liver. The liver is a busy little organ that's responsible for the detoxification of blood, assists with absorption and distribution of nourishment, and as well as helping out with the immune system. On the metaphysical level, it can show how well you can handle multiple responsibilities in life. And if we open ourselves up too much, or that it becomes toxic or harmful to us, or what we need to detox or let go of. Emotion. The emotion for wood is anger, because these people who get angry at the drop of a hat and use that anger to achieve a purpose when they're in balance and when it's in a positive way. So while anger is normally seen as a negative emotion, it's not always the case. The wood has a great ability to use this anger as a force of nature to accomplish their goals. The things that they normally get angry at are those injustices in the world, like equal rights and stuff like that. Although on the other side of things, when they are out of balance, they can become very aggressive and misdirected, or they tend to bottle everything up. Now, then on the other extreme is the lack of anger. This is where the person has no anger whatsoever. They can blindly watch those injustices happen and not feel anything. Nothing gets to them. But they can also not stand up for themselves. Sound. Shouting is the sound of the wood. This does not mean that they're yelling at the top of their lungs with every word. It can be that, but they normally have a force behind their voice. Everything has a push behind it, and you can almost feel it hit you. Now, if they're out of balance, it can feel a bit jerky at times, but it's a voice that would normally carry a bit of frustration or anger on it. But then on the other side, when they're out of balance, they can have a lack of shout. I won't demo it on this video because of sound and stuff like that, but it's where you have to really strain your ears to hear them, as the voice almost has no force or volume behind it. Odour. The odour for wood is rancid. Now, that might not smell very nice or sound like a very nice smell, and when the person is out of balance, it's not. It's like old rancid oil or fat. When they're in balance, though, it can smell like fresh cut grass. Sense. Side is the sense of the wood, as they're the visionaries. You know, they stand up so tall and can see out so far amongst everything else. When the wood becomes out of balance, the eyes are affected. They can become itchy, or they can have sight problems, like fuzzy vision, out of focus, that sort of thing. When in balance, though, the wood is able to engage in a conscious way with all that they see. Personality traits. The wood element is an assertive person when they're in balance, but they're not domineering, they're not demanding. They just know how to assert themselves. You know, stick their roots in, so to speak. When they're out of balance, they can become impatient and have a somewhat inflated sense of themselves. They are motivated to get things done. They're always driving forward, which can get them into arguments at times, as they can develop that sort of my way or the highway sort of idea, where once again they stick their roots in and they're an immovable force. with an idea or with the way they want things done. The movement of the wood can be very smooth when they're in balance. When they're out of balance though, they can have those sort of jerky movements. As mentioned before, they can tighten up, especially around the neck and shoulders. And as stated before, they plan. They're the visionaries, they have the plan. But they also put it into action. Now this can lead to some instances where they take action without thinking first. Not very often, more so when they're out of balance or the opportunity just arises then and there, and they're doing it. Gifts of the wood. Vision. Not only in the physical sense, with the eyes, they are the visionaries, they envision the future, which means that they can be hard to keep in the present, as they're always looking ahead, into what's coming. But it also helps them make plans and make goals. Which brings us to the next one, planning. How are they going to achieve this vision? When they're in complete balance, they will be able to see those obstacles and potential hazards in the way to their goal and plan around them. Also planning what steps they need to take to reach that vision. And then they're able to make that decision on which plan is the best and which way to go about it so they can reach that vision. Which leads into good judgment. The wood can show good judgment in thinking on many things. They take in all the evidence with their eyes and make the best decision based off that judgment. But on the other hand there, when wood procrastinates for too long, it can lead to indecision. And they can get stuck in a bit of a back and forth, will they, won't they situation if they don't make a decision, which can lead to them not making a decision at all. Clarity. The idea that the wood is normally tall and strong in structure means that it has that greater clarity to see over everything else, thinking more clearly. And with that greater degree of clarity, we have, the more truth we can recognise. This means the clearer we are, the more we can see that way forward, to our goal, to our vision. Imagination. The wood element has a great ability to imagine, being the visionary that it is. Having this great imagination means that their goals are more clear in mind, feel more real, and that makes it easier for them to believe that they can accomplish it and believe it's here already. Creativity. Being that the wood element has that strong imagination that we just talked about, it means that they can also be more creative, thinking outside the box. All it takes for the wood to be creative is to simply start and follow through with what the imagination has shown them. So, these are some of the things that make up the wood, guys. Are you a wood type? Do you know a wood person? What parts of the wood do you most resonate with? But anyway guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, comment, subscribe, share. I'm Robert Murphy, and I'll see you in the next video.